Greetings to all viewers mo listeners around Vanuatu. I'm acting director of the Department of Climate Change. We want to take time to come out, particularly to talk survey or the priorities with the Department of Climate Change and we plan them, we implement them annual year 2025. But before that, what the opportunity I want to tell them, talk thank you on behalf of the Department of Climate Change. I call all the ministries, all the departments, all the NGOs, all the private institutions, all the development partners, all donors, what all accredited entity, all executing entity. On behalf of the Department of Climate Change, we want them pagan, share them talk thank you, I come, lo support we provide them through 2024, we must achieve him. Some targets we plan for 2024. As 2025 begin, now you start manage from February. Also acting director of the Department of Climate Change. Again, we want them using this opportunity to inform me some the key priorities with the Department of Climate Change and we been plan them to implement them in year 2025. First one, we will start project implementation, and I think all along you have been informed through some forms of communications, social media, more mediums of communication. You got some big adaptation projects where we host them under the Department of Climate Change, and one of which is VCCRB, Vanuatu Community-Based Climate Resilience Project, where we funded by GCF and we agreed through Save the Children's Australia, and this year number 3 year implementation project start 2022 and by ends 2028 to span 6 years. So project we work across 29 area councils and 282 communities, and some selected area councils start Torba Province, Kasem Town South, Tafea Province. I think we been start look some get the implementation activities we start go through, and Department of Climate Change and we been put almost one priority leading implementation projects selected projects actually we start work finish. And another big projects where we also in charge of the Department of Climate Change and we pick up phase 2. Pick up Vanuatu Coastal Adaptation Project when we phase 2 belong and we funded by CHEF, Global Environment Facility with LTCF when we least developed country fund. So project we also work across some selected area councils or selected sites across the country. Start Torba and Kasem Town South Tafea Province. And Tufla project, big projects, Tufla focus mainly on adaptation, but then building resilience across some selected sectors, food security and livelihoods, infrastructure, strengthening governance, food security, fisheries, and work to all across with them closely with them Ministry of Agriculture through the Department of Agriculture, and basically work to infrastructure. So I mean two big projects, and also include some small projects where we focus loss and damage, where in short you missing out them strength project. One of which is first time lo country lo Vanuatu we got one loss and damage project. You may been also champion loss and damage international arena, but in terms of implementation and domesticate climate actions through concept of loss and damage, one will get a festival project where Vanuatu government been carrying forward to implement them, and final year loss and damage project. And you got one we missing out CBIT, Climate Action Initiative for Transparency, and Capacity Building Initiative for Transparency. To capacity building projects where we solely focus strengthening more enhancing our Vanuatu through institutions play me you have report against all mandates plimi under law Article 13 lo Paris Agreement. So now mi capacity building or training only come through lo projects lo lisabot mi milem. And we got two partner project with an PPAC project where we also awesome where we start implementing. With them me want them to talk survey to the public about them two new project through lo Vanuatu. I think last year you may be in start look widely lo some lo mediums lo communication ya in daily posts and Facebook where minister but the Ministry of Climate Change only been signing and partnership arrangements where first one mi partnership arrangements lo one mi missing out them climate flexible financing where emfatna mi support mi milem and narafalawan emi narafala funding where emfatna mi support mi milem lo yumi establishing loss and damage fund lo Vanuatu. And with them in year by me take you implement them lo 2 years with them next year. So back again I think with them all new projects, more existing projects, but we expect them some rounds of consultations, more support whereby we need them, local government, more communities, more partners all across to be able to implement them all actions where we been approved to implement them under all different projects. Yeah. And MNI all projects where Department of Climate Change and Yabi Blo Serra or by humiliating implementation plan lo 2025. Narafala program where Department of Climate Change and you also plan for lo implemented and climate change mitigation. But the finish and your programs where lo reduce greenhouse gas emission lo Vanuatu. And you Vanuatu we contribute a very less in terms of global contribution to greenhouse gas emission, but already you may also want to demonstrate in leadership through all implementations, small actions across different prioritized sectors where we embedded inside the one emission item NDC blue. So Vanuatu has been submitting NDC blue and we take into account all different commitments and all different sectors where we contribute largely basically domestic GHG emissions. So all actions here across energy, waste management, agriculture, forestry, more land use, more tool, industrial process and product use. So some of the actions here we come in to help you reduce greenhouse gas emissions all the sectors. And one of which is a major one now when we solely focus on NDC, where we reduce close up 100%, and we medium close up 100% renewable energy by 2030. You say one big ambition. 2030 we just around the corner, but to the Department of Climate Change with the implementing partners, you prioritize them to look some get the key achievements by thrown down, if not large, but some emissions across all sectors we start work with them. Mineral side of climate change mitigation. Narafla program we also decide and approved for as a department with the projects plan and side climate change adaptation, or fashion flow you adapt to changing climate conditions with them will impacts we start facing. So with them some will get a big achievements whereby we look forward to achieving the national adaptation plan for Vanuatu. But we put together one plan or one guiding document whereby we help them in terms of where and how you want them envision them climate adaptation in the future. So now the overall intention to make that plan, and aside them, we got two community or provincial adaptation plan. With them all community adaptation plans where all existing projects play if you up to with the VCCRP, whereby to place about them developing all community adaptation plan, especially all project sites no. And aside them with them provincial adaptation plan, more national adaptation plan, you been so fortunate you got one readiness support when we can lo TCF, when we help me prepare national adaptation plan play with them professional adaptation plan, more strengthen them governance play as to how you want them to look at adaptation to climate change lo Vanuatu. With them too, got a lot of la commitments whereby me megam lo adaptation, I got develop task force lo climate change vulnerability across lo Vanuatu. I've been started finished, but me partially complete. So you may be plan more prioritizing more priority action. We complete in task force which by me seven one decision making platform me with time investment for climate adaptation, addressing vulnerabilities. We may tie in very well with the impacts for climate change. So when I look at adaptation, I mean all get I know, and we got all narrow but me one time share get some key priority achievements with climate change and we look forward to them. Narafala program area where department and been agree work through them and lo site lo monitoring with everybody. So lo place here you start expecting lo work with them all existing projects play need lo monitoring all get implementations lo projects lo you must have realize lo employee lo annual year all achievements lo indicators so you been good to lo implement them throughout the year 2025. And two, with them narrow functions where Department of Climate Change we start playing, like monitoring and evaluation, more reporting. We want them look to work through some the selected provinces, carry out monitoring with evaluation, all past projects. We must have a look effectiveness plan, more impact plan, more sustainability plan, and basically, time we contact them all monitoring with the evaluation, you must have recommend them all way forward as to how you want to look at investments here, suppose you know work or suppose you work good, one all replicable in the future, and now when you want them look or lessons by you extract them all monitoring and evaluations for all past projects when you haven't finished. And two, especially reporting, monitoring implementations for business plan for Department of Climate Change 2025. I think two narrow program area where you focus them, or you agree together as a department with them all staffs, any legislations, with them review strategies with them all policies. I think you've been prioritizing review the current meteorology, geological assets and climate change act. And then Mr. Bandawe finish, we can support lo FICAP 2, and support them in lo carry out review. And sadly, I got all some lo get strategic documents where we plan lo submitting to, or some all obligations we inside lo UNFCCC and Paris Agreement. One will get any annual transparency report, and second one any National Demand Contribution Phase 3 plan, where planetarium or some communications will start briefing column or some NDC 3.0. So I want by me plan for, me complete him and then we submit him to UNFCCC. And then paragraph 2, institutional arrangements. You may also want them to revive impact domestic MRF tool where you use them. Track emission or implementations of NDC commitments in Vanuatu. So when I'm inside institutional strengthening legislation with them policy work where by Department of Climate Change and plan for local and side human resource with them administration, finance and programs. You also plan some work, priority work around internship, cottage, and also the placements we support them capability, more capacity plan for climate change for deliverable mandates plan. And of course, seeking all financial supports through concept notes or project proposals. You go through all donors, we have a channel funding camp, strengthen them climate adaptation, mitigation, and of course loss and damage priority areas. And one learner priority when you want them to materialize you may submit him as a department restructuring plan we call public service police consider him. You may have a stretch out in terms of internal capacity. You may have a meeting or policy decisions, more mandates. You may also climate change department. And another key program area where you may also agree them as a department, lo work them, and also advocacy, but them capacity building. And you may have far across how many years back to 2019 when the department established. I think you may be finding out advocacy in one big area with them capacity building where across all provinces, more communities playing you need him. You may have communicate them. Climate change is all get out with them all forecast, all projections where all communities only need to have to be able to work together as a country to address more climate change impacts. So lo iya by lo province lo Torba, which me lo tale mo sema program ya bifle bin karemat lo 5 naravela provinces finish. Torba now mi last vela province where you may plan to carry out program to advocacy with them all get and then you may host them also in one symposium whereby me happen lo Torba lo manis lo October. So even now by me expect them all get citizens lo Torba province by got climate change symposium whereby me happen lo manis lo October. And all formal communications plan by Mr. reaching you in due course, key responsible officers in charge of the Department of Climate Change. Motu by got naravla training whereby me happen to lo project development, grant writing whereby me happen lo Torba province, lo manage lo April with May lo 2025, and two me launch two in charge of advocacy, comms or communication strategy with the Department of Climate Change. And to facilitate some internal training where might at least will benefit him to enhance him capacity with them capability of staffs internally and externally through all communities and all government partners and all private or NGOs or some trainings where by you of course offer him will be able to enhance him skills, knowledge, different technical areas of climate change, adaptation, mitigation, transparency, loss and damage, climate finance, and then also lo iya one will get another priority display me and lo climate finance. You may work lo current financing through all existing donor partners play me where you may be start with them all get also GCF, CHEF, LTCF, and of course all new emerging one where we special climate change fund. Lo put on together all concept notes or project proposals and then you work with them all get as to how you may have a channel or fund say come lo government lo Vanuatu lo be able to use and then build them resilience across all communities. And then naravela key second last program area and we have the loss and damage. So when we tell finish lo iya ikat one project where by me work them where funding them and me come lo MFAT and me Vanuatu's lo develop loss and damage fund lo Vanuatu. So fund there by me act or some one place where time development partners or donors only want to support me financially lo side lo loss and damage funding me by me channel come inside lo fund animal and then by me just manage them internally through the Ministry of Climate Change, Department of Climate Change, lo this person we call all get our need lo address them loss and damage where me start happen lo communities and all places lo get and then I work by me happen lo iya and by we expect them all calls lo consultations more nervous something whereby me lead to go towards establishment lo fund and then in all lo me given los damage anyone lo get a key areas where Vanuatu suppose you look around lo you got all losses and damages were induced by climate change. So mena one way we establishing on Fandia with the institutional arrangements to accommodate them all requests, all needs also. And finally, low site low carbon markets. Narafla key area or key program where last final program where as a department we been agreed also support them and we coordinate them, more implement them all requests and all needs around low carbon markets. So all get listeners, all get viewers, me now me in brief priorities for 2025 for Department of Climate Change. And before me finish, me want them make them call ya ikam lo yumi all get government ministries, government departments, or private, or NGOs, or donors, or development partners. Lo yumi work together lo iya share all resources in terms of human resource or technical resource, financial resource, and then you will be able to work together. And of course, also in Pintal finish, you got 2 big climate adaptation projects where Department of Climate Change and use them. And on behalf of all get project managers, small project team, and all BMU where we housed by Department of Climate Change. Mr. Budum Kolia ikam lo yumi all implementing departments where you may work with them on project. Lo yumi cooperate, you collaborate lo yaya 2025. Lo yumi sabe achieve some big milestones where sooner or later, but you may start local communications plan where we come out either if not lo Facebook, but lo radio or television lo Vanuatu. So again, thank you too much lo time where you spend them, lo you look, or you listen, lo priorities lo Department of Climate Change. Again, you want them end lo tale mo say you must work towards sustainable, more climate resilient Vanuatu and efficient the Department of Climate Change. But thank you too much. More give you lo time.